So here we have the One Ring, the RPG, the regular book. There was some fancy book you could buy with fancy stuff and fancy things, but I figured that I might want to play this and not just have it sit on the bookshelf for 10 years or whatever and say, oh, I should play that someday, and then never play it. So I bought a book I could use instead. It's very nice. It has 240 pages about, maybe a bit on the thick side, but not everything is rules. The rules are a small part. So that's okay. Has a nice index at the beginning, which is nice. Hopefully is there an appendix? Yeah. Oh. Well, maybe not what I was looking for. You have some things here like the action resolution, how to making rolls, who roll ability. If you only played 5e, first of all, poor you. Second of all, I mean, the part of rolling a dice will feel okay, but the other things will be slightly different. Here you say you have an attribute of, let's say you have 8 in it, and then you take 20 minus 8, so 12. And then you roll a d12 and a various number of d6s, and supposed to roll over 12 to succeed. More or less, that's very simplified. And things can happen, you can get extra successes, or you can get the Eye of Sauron and things like that, but more or less like that. So there's like making rolls, conditions, stuff that you will probably read when you do it. Here's how to make your own adventurer. I assume they want to release more books for this later, but you start out with, well, find enough stuff. You have the Bardings, the Dwarves, the Elves of Lindon, the Hobbits of the Shire, the Men of Bree, and the Rangers of the North. That's what you can make with this book. And a total lack of imagination, of course. But that's what the rules are here for anyway. Like heroic cultures and things like that. Nothing strange at all. But the whole thing of like attributes here. Say if you want to roll, you can choose one set. There's like 6 different sets or roll. So you roll a d6, and like if you roll a 1, you get strength 7, heart 5, wits 2. If you roll a 6, you get strength 6, heart 6, wits 2. Oh, they're almost the same. But you see, like the end sum is always the same in the end. Like a 3 is 6, 5, 3. Here we have 6, 4, 4. I guess the Rangers aren't 6 in wits. I guess he was a bit of a dunce, Aragorn. Callings, you have like a starting drive, whatever, things like that. It's not like classes in such, but you're like, oh, I'm a champion. And you get like a few different things, and you get the shadow path, which I have not explained at all, and I'm not going to explain that. You can read about that yourself. Anyway, everything you need to make and buy gear and things like that. And then you have the different phases. The adventuring phase, how it describes how it works, combat, things like that. Nothing strange. Oh, you know what? For not having the super fancy one, this is still pretty damn fancy. Like the quality of the pages is really nice. I have this thing here that I can flop around like so. I guess you're supposed to mark books, but it's also pretty fun to just throw around. Anyway, you have the combat rounds. It works quite like, more abstract than other things with the stances I showed in on opening and things like that. And opening volleys, and if you want to stay back to do ranged or move in to act close and things like that. So everything you need for that. And then you have the fellowship phase, which is like downtime. Not freedom downtime, just downtime. Where you can like update things and increase your skills, or you have different undertakings you've seen in other systems like Warhammer Fantasy, things like that. They always had undertaking, right? You can recount the story or write a song. Here's the Lore Master, which is what the trademark, the Dungeon Master is called here. Like, the art is awesome. I mean, if you played Symbaroum, you know this style of art. I have not looked in the first edition of the One Ring, so I don't know what the art looked like here, but, you know, this is just awesome. So here's a bunch of stuff, how to be a lore master, blah, 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 blah. Run in the game, be nice, do things, roll dice, kill your players. Also, the thing in this system, like many other of the Free League, you're not supposed to roll a dice if there's no real consequence of failure, which I think is nice. I mean, a change up at least. I like both, but I like it. And here's a small, like, I'm sure they're going to release more books about the world. Because here we have Iriador. And so that's like where these adventures will take place. There was some kind of like plot hooks. And I read an adventure when I was looking through the PDF. It wasn't like... Was it like a bit by bit? I mean, it described an adventure you could have anyway. Which I'm not going to spoil. But I think it's somewhere in here. So we're gonna flip by that, and then you have an appendix. But great though his lore may be, it must have a source. Blah 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 blah. With patrons you can have, and here was probably the adventure I was talking. Oh, here's a nice index. That's what we all need. I need to look up where the Palantir is. Oh, 2 facts 16. Like, if they don't have it, I would throw out the book and have the dog pee on it. Maybe. And here you have another map. I was showing you the big map in the starter set. But here you have like freelands, wildlands, darklands, impassable terrain, because you like do journeys. You see there's like hex journeys. Make marching tests, end of journey. Oh, I mean, it's really nice. If you don't hate fun, you should probably try it. If you hate fun, like, go play Dungeons and Dragons. Sorry, just joking.